Hey everybody, and welcome to another Pro SC2 cast. This is going to be for the tournament SC2 Row.Row. Again, I did recently just do the Damaga game. Now we're going the Damaga vs Empire cost game rather. Now we're going to be doing aTnClouD, who's going to be our Red Terran here on GSL's dual site. I love this map. It's so cool looking, very aesthetically pleasing, and I do like it as a two-person map. Against AFFY Forte. I don't know much about this guy at all, but I do know a good amount about Cloud. Cloud himself is quite a defensive player. Overall, of course, he has his aggressive moments and whatnot, but usually when Cloud plays, he's typically likes to sit back and just kind of macro up a bit before he pushes out, but again, not fully exactly how he plays. I did just recently actually watch Cloud versus Huck in the NASL Season 2. It was early in Season 2. I hadn't watched much of NASL. Last Season 1 NASL was kind of iffy. I mean, they were great games, but the production values needed a little bit of a bump. I did just watch, like I said, the first game between Cloud and Huck, and it was actually quite a good game. Cloud took that game. It was really good. And Cloud, yeah, I mean, shows that he can be quite a good player when the time calls for it. I mean, if he can beat a player like Huck, then I mean, who are you? You're good, is who you are. I don't know. That was a weird statement. Anyway, so we'll also be sending a scout out, checking out what's going to go on. I like this map too because on these kinds of map, you could see a player wall off with three supply depots. There's Pet saying league.sc2row.row. Good luck, have fun, barbecue, all that good stuff. And it looks like trying to get this SCV up and dead. Might get it. No, decided he's going to actually switch targets over to this SCV, which is not what he wants. This barracks will be finished on time. Then not going to be able to pick off that SCV anytime soon. And those look like he's getting some early gas as well. You know, typical build. Curious if we're going to be seeing some sort of 1-1-1 build out of Terran, as that's extraordinarily popular. Was going to be walling in. Yes, he's going to wall in and just drop that down. I like that move right there, just dropping it, but not finishing it because he just doesn't want that probe to leave. Just wants to make sure he gets that probe killed, or doesn't want to, not so much let the probe leave, but let any early pressure sneak in. So, gonna send this Marine out, kill this off, no problems. Gonna be able to follow it around and finish it off. There goes the Marine, kind of getting clipped on its own units there just a bit, but is gonna be able to finish it off. It looks like, yep, it is gonna go down. Explosion to the probe, no more probe life, and then immediately, as soon as it dies, dropping a factory. That factory is, I'm curious. That could be extremely indicative of a 1-1-1. I mean, obviously it goes barracks, factory, potentially starport next, dropping down that second gas this early. Oh yeah, we could be seeing a 1-1-1. The mixture of Marines, siege tanks, and Banshees. Ooh, yeah. I'm almost positive that's what we're going to see at this point with that double gas going down so early. We have a reactor going down right next to this this barracks. Now, he could be building this to be switching up with the factory. The reason why I don't think he is because he had to fly all the way back for one. So he can wall in so the person can get no scouting information. If he was going to do a Hellion opener, which again is very, very unlikely against a Protoss, he would have just built the reactor right up front and had to build the factory really close and swapped it out there. Not worried about the scouting too much against the Hellions, because Hellions can come out very, very quickly. So dropping that is going to be strictly for Marine production. As you can see, he's dropping a tech lab down. Siege tech almost immediately going to be going down thereafter. Ooh! Or are we going to be dropping it down here for a cloak for Banshees? So maybe not siege tech. We'll see what he plans on dropping then. Is going to be popping out. Doesn't look like he's going to be building anything. There it goes. So yes, we are dropping it down next to Tech Lab for some Banshee action. The Banshees are going to be pumping out right now. No cloak tech, just the Banshees, and producing lots and lots of Marines. And oh, there's the other Tech Lab. So it's a secondary Tech Lab. Could be going down. Actually wants to get that early. That's one of the variations, getting very early Banshees out. What he could have done is went early siege tech and popped out siege tanks first, and had the starport build its own reactor, tech lab, and had the the cloak Banshees rather come out a little bit later, which I don't know. I kind of would have liked to see, as that would have been. I mean, Banshees, yeah, they're powerful, but they're better when they're mixed in with that 1-1-1 all-in army, and I just have a feeling that's what he's going for here. As you can see, his SCV production has, it's still steady, but we don't see that extra command center going down. We don't see an expansion being prepped at all. Purely straight up going, looks like mass Marines, siege tanks, and Banshees. And if you take a look over here at Force, he is expanding here. He has gone for the typical 1-gate robo expand, getting that observer out. Does he know? He does know. He knows it's coming. Has every indication that it's on the way, and should be. I don't know if he should be panicking at this point. He only has one gateway. This is bad play. He needs to get these two gated up. There you go. That could have been much earlier. That could have allowed for a lot more heavier reinforcements a lot quicker. This could actually really do a lot of damage, because think about how many seconds were wasted of it just sitting as a gateway and not producing any units immediately, and it wasn't actually producing any units, period. So that's going to completely weaken his entire army composition here. And it does look like Cloud is getting ready to move out. He did bring a huge hunk of SCVs with him, it looks like here. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 SCVs completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 8 SCVs. And a couple of Banshees are at the ready here. One taking a little bit of damage, probably did a little bit of poking around the side. Stalkers did look like they caught it off guard. I'm going to get some picking action here off of this pylon. Not going to get anything, a little damage, which is good, but not able to do anything else other than that. Can't bring it down. The Stalkers were there. This observer still just quite nicely sitting up here. And here's where the encounter is going to be. Siege Tech has finished, so he is all sieged up and ready to go. And we'll see what this is going to do. Drop a couple bunkers down right outside the main. I like how he's dropping those siege tanks in the back line, forces units to just sit in the back and watch as his nexus gets torn to shreds. Banshee's sitting there, Immortal up, and he's got a few of Stalkers and Immortals. If he can't stop this, bringing down this natural is going to be a huge deficit. That's 400 minerals down the drain, and it looks like he is going to give up on it, abandoning the probe line. Siege tanks getting a few free pot shots off on them, but there it goes. This 400 minerals wasted at this point. Bunkers are sitting there for defensive measures purely, and now he could probably push in and do a lot of damage. The Immortals aren't going to be able to do too much. He's got a couple of Zealots on the low ground, maybe to do some flanking action. Going to be dropping down some more gateways. I would have liked to see those gateways drop down a lot earlier at this point. He still has Psionic Storm, but at this point the Psionic Storm is kind of a waste, not able to do too much. It's kind of a little bit late. There goes the Immortal. That pretty much is going to seal the deal. Is going to be continually sieging. The Banshees are going to give him vision of the high ground on that ramp, and now he's going to be forcing up on the ramp. What I would have liked to see, instead of going for that crazy Templar, is a lot earlier sentries and force fielding. If he could force field, which he technically still has the ability to do, wow, that was also a bad force field. If he was able to force field a bit earlier, maybe got 2 sentries instead, he would have been able to hold off this army. Granted, the Banshees would have given vision on the high ground, but that just means he doesn't put his troops very near the lip here. And if he had done that, he probably would have been able to hold this a little bit longer, maybe gotten a bit more resources in and a bit more of his units in. And if he could hold off this 1-on-1 push, killing all of those SCVs completely, would have done a whole lot. But at this point, it just doesn't look like it matters anymore. Cloud is just dominating this game with the 1-1-1 all-in against the Protoss. Very difficult for him to hold off, I know, as a build in general, but there's some poor decisions made during that. The force field's missing. Go for a Psionic Storm. All this is just kind of hurt him. So now we're going to be looking at, he does have his High Templar up, but because that there's no medallion upgrade that's gone, and he can't just Psionic Storm right away. Did he forget about that? So him saying, so funny and lame. So he's a little BMing there. I mean, I can understand the frustration, but there were some things he could have done to help hold that. Sadly, he did not do that. So we'll be going on to Game 2, guys. Thanks so much. And if you want to subscribe, feel free to click on my nameplate over on the bottom right here. I'll see you guys next cast.